What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Pantherologist, Panther Nation. I told you I was going to be back. I told you that I was going to bring you some raw content. I told you that I was going to get back in the groove of things now that I am settled in, moved in, and just everything's, going as planned as of right now. So, in my life. So, I know every time I've opened up with the past two, my last video, I've been opening up with my life, but a lot has changed. So, anyways. So today's video, we are going to be talking about, can the Carolina Panthers salvage Sam Darnold's career? All right. Now, if you haven't checked out my last video, go check that out now. It's talking about basically my initial reactions to, the Carolina trading for Sam Darnold. And then, of course, maybe answering some questions that you may have and what the future holds with all of this going on. So, anyways, before we get into the rest of the video, pound that like button, pound the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, if you're a Panthers fan or an NFL fan, you just like what I put out there. And, comment down below. Let me know what you think. I love to hear my audience thoughts. I like to respond, and I'll respond back to you. And then click that post notification so you don't miss out on the new videos. All right? So, let's go ahead and dive into this bad boy here. I'm going to fix this camera real quick. All right, so now, if the Panthers are so desperate for a franchise quarterback, why did they trade for Darnold? Now the answer lies somewhere between the high cost of the current market and Carolina's belief in its culture and coaching staff. So as we all know, on Monday, the New York Jets traded quarterback Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers for a 2021 sixth-round pick of this year's draft, and then a second-round pick of 2022 and a fourth-round pick of 2022. So the move affirms what was already obvious for the Jets. New York will take a quarterback, probably, I think, Zach Wilson, with its number 2 selection in this month's draft. It also affirms their failure to develop Darnold into a franchise quarterback, a mistake they don't want to repeat. So after taking Darnold with the number 3 selection in 2018, the Jets will soon become the first team since at least, I think it is 66, 67, to take a quarterback in the top 3 picks in a 4-year span. So that's not ideal, but while Darnold's development or lack thereof certainly belongs on the CVS receipt linked list of things that the Jets have done wrong over the past 3 years. So, which includes Greg Williams' 0 blitz and Le'Veon Bell contract, cutting Pierre Desir 3 weeks before he was nominated for Walter Payton Man of the Year. And then Adam Gates' employment, spending a high pick on a quarterback, does not. So the Jets, obviously needed a quarterback in 2018 and had a high pick to obtain one in a deep draft class. They either chose the wrong player or, I guess, lack thereof, the infrastructure necessary to give him a chance to even succeed. So how this trade works out for the Panthers depends on which of those factors was more significant. Now, a team in the Panthers position can't afford to do nothing, right? In addition to the draft capital they sent the Jets, Carolina, I think, is expected to pick up Darnold's $18.8 million fifth-year option for 2022 to have him under control for the next 2 seasons. That outlay falls somewhere in between significant and exorbitant when it comes to quarterback compensation, which is fine. Now, Darnold was not the first quarterback that Carolina expressed interest in. The Panthers, tried to trade for Matthew Stafford before Detroit dealt him to the Rams. They were reportedly interested in Deshaun Watson, after he demanded a trade in January, but any move for the Texans quarterback appears very unlikely. So Watson, is facing right now 22 civil lawsuits from women who say he sexually assaulted them or engaged in appropriate conduct. I'm not sure what to think, but last Friday, Houston police announced they were investigating a complaint concerning Watson, though they did not specifically say the nature of the complaint. The Panthers have the number 8 pick in the draft, as we all know, but their hopes of acquiring one of the top quarterback prospects was complicated by the 49ers trading up to the number 3. And the fact that a division rival, Atlanta, holds the number 4 pick, with their options dwindling, they turned their attention to Darnold. So this is the part where we must acknowledge that nobody knows how good Sam Darnold is. He was a coveted prospect coming out of USC and has the ability to make excellent throws, but he's never had a good NFL season. His career completion rate is below 60%. He's thrown 39 interceptions and fumbled 20 times since 2018. He's been sacked at least 30 times in each of his 3 seasons. So once after throwing an interception, he was caught on a live microphone saying he was seeing ghosts on the field. On a potentially related note, however, Darnold has only ever played for the Jets, including the past 2 years with Gase as his head coach. Since Darnold has entered the NFL, the Jets have averaged the second fewest points in the league and are last in total yards per play, first downs, third downs converted, third down conversion percentage. I mean, all of that is bad. So some of this is Darnold's fault, I think, a little bit, but some of it isn't. And anyone who says they know precisely how much to blame, is to put on either party is lying. The Panthers are hoping, obviously, that Darnold's past struggles are more attributable to his situation than his abilities, that their coaching staff will be a significant upgrade, obviously, to help him improve, which is understandable considering where Darnold is coming from. The Panthers should believe in their staff. I think owner David Tepper, signed head coach Matt Rule from the college ranking with a 7-year, $60 million contract in January of 2020 to stop Rule from even interviewing with the Giants. Carolina also hired Joe Brady from college, making him its offensive coordinator after one season on LSU's staff. Now, Brady has emerged as one of the best play designers in football, and Carolina was lucky to keep him in-house this offseason after he interviewed for NFL head coaching vacancies. Now, the Panthers are betting they can unlock more on Darnold's potential than the Jets were able to. They don't have to be miracle workers to make Darnold a competent starting quarterback in this league. I still think he possesses the physical tools that made him such a prize prospect. At 23, he's still 6 months younger than last year's number 1 pick, Joe Burrow, whom Brady worked with at LSU in 2019. The Panthers have spent and acted aggressively to put together an infrastructure that should help a player like Darnold to succeed. That infrastructure is about to be put to the test, obviously. Now that Darnold will be reunited with Robbie Anderson in Carolina, arguably the best wide receiver he played with during his days with the Jets, who's now effectively Carolina's third receiving option behind Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. Now, the Panthers may have made this trade because they didn't think they could get a high enough to take one of the top quarterbacks. At least not high enough to get one whom they like, but given the expected run on quarterbacks in the top 4 picks, they should be able to still pick a premier position player at number 8. Given Carolina's effort to create a good team culture and build a good roster, it owed it to itself to keep trying to land a quarterback even after its initial ambitious overtures didn't work out. The biggest risk is getting stuck in the NFL's version of a purgatory, So Darnold may not work out either, but he likely has upside than Teddy Bridgewater, Carolina's returning starter. So the Panthers have intimated that they like to move on from Bridgewater, who they can try to trade. So to paraphrase Forrest Gump, quarterbacks are like a box of chocolates. All right, it's the most individual important position in a sport where dozens of variables impact every play. So a good quarterback is the difference between success and failure. So knowing why one is good is extremely difficult, but is ultimately the difference between continued success and failure. So you never know what you're going to get. That's why any team, especially one that is poised to be good, has to try. There's a significant cost in trading for Darnold, but the cost of doing nothing could have wounded up being much, higher. So overall, I think that the Carolina Panthers can salvage Sam Darnold's career. I still think that this guy has the ability to be a Josh Allen-esque kind of guy. I kind of see that, I think, when I watched the draft in 2018 and watched some, between those two, Josh Allen and Sam Darnold, I thought Sam Darnold has a stronger arm, maybe like a bigger arm. But obviously Josh Allen has been in a better position. But I could see, Sam Darnold kind of being like a Josh Allen-esque kind of guy if Carolina, puts the right weapons around him, and boosts that offensive line. And there's a lot of factors that go into this. I think really Sam Darnold, being the fact that he's 6 months younger than last year's first round pick, Joe Burrow, there's a lot of potential there. So I think that we made the right move, obviously, with the fact that the whole Miami-San Francisco trade and probably not being able to get, these top 4 quarterbacks in this draft. I still think that possibility, I wouldn't rule out that Carolina doesn't go for a quarterback. If they do, it's probably going to be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. I don't see them getting Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence, obviously. So if they don't go quarterback, I see them either going after Patrick Surtain or maybe Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle out of Oregon. So there's a lot of positive here, I think, and I think there's a lot of upside here, and I think it's like I said, Scott Fitter said it best. It's a gamble. It's a high, low risk, high reward kind of ordeal. So I think we should be optimistic about it. Stick with Sam Darnold, and I think maybe we might have our guy, have our quarterback. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Pound that like button, pound the subscribe button, comment down below, let me know what you think. Click that post notifications bell. I'm going to be grading this trade. That video will be coming out here soon, so be on the lookout for that. Panther Nation, Pantherologists, You know what to do. Keep pounding.